Some good news from health officials today. No new deaths reported in our county related to coronavirus. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Price.
And I'm Alicia Summers. That keeps the death toll here in San Diego at 71. Cases are up 55 once again, bringing the total to 2,268. But officials stress there is believed to be more unconfirmed cases in the community.
Completed tests passed 32,000 today, with another 955 in just the past 24 hours. And to this point, more than 1,200 coronavirus positive patients in the county have now recovered.
In Encinitas, people tired of being cooped up took to the streets hoping to drum up support to have San Diego counties, or at least their communities, reopen. But they weren't alone. There were also those who wanted to support social distancing and the need for safety. News 8's Monique Griego spoke with both sides.
Well, this morning, protesters gathered here at Swami's Beach, which you can see is completely barricaded off and closed to the public. Now, they wanted to get the message across that they think enough time has passed that the parks and beaches should be reopened, but not everyone here in the community agrees.
3 people don't ask for permission.
We're just a little bit concerned is that they're not taking the coronavirus seriously, as if it's, a joke or a hoax.
A clash of opinions on the coronavirus.
Free the people! Enough of this crap!
Made its way onto the streets of Encinitas this morning.
I thought it was just going to be a few of us showing up today, and when I got here, there were already a lot of people.
Krista Curtis organized a demonstration made up of surfers, hikers, and others, all backing the same message.
There was no need to close the rail trail. It's time to start opening the beaches back up.
They believe it's been long enough, and it's time for them to be able to decide where and how they social distance.
Find a middle ground. It's not about being reckless, irresponsible, but moving in the right direction, opening back up.
But as protesters rallied along the rail trail, directly above in big black letters, another group of community members also making their own statement.
I think more people are going on the safer side.
We're a bit concerned that our community really isn't concerned about the collective group.
Teresa Woodward put up the signs after learning the protest would be passing her house.
When you open the beaches, it's not just community residents here in Encinitas, it's people from all over.
I think we have to keep with the program, social distancing and stay-at-home order.
Both sides as passionate as they are divided.
To listen to the few naysayers and the nanny people that want to control everybody else, look, I'm just all about freedom. I don't want to tell someone else what to do, and I don't want to be told what to do.
It's not safe, and it's obviously that it could flare up any time, and it's all very well to demonstrate, but are they prepared to suffer the consequences? If it doesn't work, we have to go back to square one.
And this is just one of several rallies that have been held within the past week, and really the communities just seem to be divided on this issue, but for now these recommendations stay in place and the beaches and parks remain closed. Monique Griego, News 8.
And as Monique mentioned, this is the second day of protests locally. And once again, police didn't issue any citations for violating the stay-at-home order. And we received several emails here at News 8 from viewers asking us why. News 8's Brendan Lewis spoke with San Diego Police and explains what law enforcement is trying to balance and where they're trying to draw a distinction. Brandon?
Law enforcement says they had a lot of discussions leading up to the protest that happened this weekend. They're trying to balance the right that people have to be healthy and safe, and also the right that people have to make their voices heard. Of course, they wish that would have happened while exercising various social distancing policies. For the second day in a row, protesters took to the streets to speak out against the current stay-at-home orders.
The ocean is like my church. You're taking my freedom of religion away to me.
This gives our basic rights back. Yeah. I mean, this is the land of the free, home of the brave. Isn't that in a song? Well, I don't seem to hear that song too well anymore. Deputies monitored the crowd but did not issue citations. It was the same with protesters who took to the streets in downtown San Diego Saturday. Police say it was a conscious decision.
We start shutting these things down and we start using the reason of social distancing, which we could, right, because they were less than 6 feet away. I think we start getting into a dangerous area of authoritative rule, and that's not what our country was was founded on.
Law enforcement across the county has arrested dozens of people on misdemeanor charges for ignoring the stay-at-home order. San Diego police say there's a distinction between the protesters and those who were ticketed, who police say were all in closed beaches or parks.
I think there's a difference in behavior there. If you're going to a park, your voice is not being heard. You're just trying to use an area that's completely closed off, versus yesterday, people wanted their voice heard, and that's what we recognized.
Police acknowledge there is a delicate balancing act between the rights of those here and the order to stay at home, which could lead to more future protests.
Is that a concern of ours? Absolutely. But I think that's when we're going to look to our leadership, both local, state, and federal leadership, to make those difficult decisions. I think it would be reasonable to believe that a lot more people are going to be frustrated with this current situation, and then, it's got to be addressed.
Law enforcement says that they are continuing to get guidance from federal, state, and local officials on the various stay-at-home orders, and will continue to follow that guidance during any potential future protest. Stephen, Alicia.
All right, Brandon, thank you. By the way, we did reach out to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department to discuss how they decided to handle today's rally, and they told us they would get back to us later today with a statement, but so far we have not received one.
It's been a grayish kind of day with the marine layer in place, but it didn't keep coastal residents from getting outside. For the most part, walkers, joggers, bikers, and dog walkers were being responsible, practicing physical distancing and not gathering in groups. Face coverings are not required, but still strongly recommended when you head outside for some fresh air and exercise.
All right, so in our News 8 poll yesterday, we asked if you felt that it was time to start reopening the country, and an overwhelming majority of folks said no. But now we want to know, when things do begin reopening, what should open up first? Should it be the parks and the beaches? We saw those protests today calling for that. What about bars and restaurants? They hire a lot of people. Or should it be non-food businesses, since they don't touch things that we eat? Or maybe something else? If you vote something else, go to my Instagram page, Steve Price TV. I put a post there. You can put in the comments what you think should open first. You can vote, though, on the News 8 app. Scroll down to the Vote tab or go to cbs8.com/vote. And we're going to take another look at the results a little later on in our show.
After a one-month hiatus, the Hillcrest Farmers Market returned today with some changes, albeit. It was open for critical food needs only. No sampling or touching, with all food pre-packaged or prepared on site by the vendor. It was also scaled down to 28 vendors to help ensure social distancing, with shoppers let in just one at a time. The weekly market returns next Sunday morning.